Okay. If you can recall, in our last class, we covered the portions from the lexical and the first few parts on syntax analysis. In that segment, we had seen that what is called left recursion, what is called left factoring, and how the left recursion can be removed, and how a grammar can be left factored. That particular portion we seen that time. Now, today we will be focusing on the rest of the part of the syntax analysis. In that segment, we will focus that why that left recursive grammar to be converted into right recursive grammar, and subsequently a grammar to be left factored. What are the reasons behind that? We will look into that part. And also we will be focusing on, if a grammar is given to us, then how to check that grammar is satisfying the top-down parts are different criterias. Okay. Now, okay, I hope that everyone can see the screen here. Uh, in last segment, we covered only this portion, that is called recursive decision parsing. We have seen that why recursive decision parsing we need to follow, or we need not to follow. We covered in our last class. And also we seen that under the backtracking top-down parser category, that some restrictions are there when we are approaching over the backtracking. Every time we have to track back, and it actually takes time to generate the parse tree. So under the parser, if you can recall, that two types are there: top down and bottom up. So under top down, I said that backtracking and non-backtracking are two categories. So backtracking part problems we seen, and today we'll be mainly focusing on this part, non-recursive decision parsing, that is called LL1. Uh, it might sound different to you that what is called LL, this L stands for, and this one stands for. So slowly we'll be moving and we'll be looking into it. Don't worry about the architecture of the different parts, are what is LR0, LR1. Once the parsing technique is completed, you will be equipped with all the knowledges required for the parts point of view. And let's focus on that recursive descent, non-recursive descent parsing LL1. Okay. Okay. Now this is the first portion where I will start. First, here this LL1, in mainly we'll be focusing on this LL1, as I said. Now, this the first L stands for, okay, I hope you can remember I said two terms. One is called LMD, another was RMD. That leftmost derivation and rightmost derivation. When we have a grammar, let a production rule we had, let A generate capital B, capital C. If I start factoring this C first, or if I start generating the tree with this C variable, that means I am factoring the right part, that will generate a rightmost derivation. Or for if I start with A, B, C, if I start factoring over B, then it will be called a left factoring based expansion. Correct. So I hope you can recall that what is called LMD and what is called RMD. Now this L, the first L stands for leftmost derivation or LMD. And second L stands for left to right scan. Right scan. Okay. Now, okay, sorry. Actually, I had interchanged this position. This L, the first. Okay, so this first L actually left to right scan, and the second L is the leftmost derivation. I need to exchange it. Okay, this L, first L signifies that left to right scan. Left to right scan means if this is a grammar is being given, then if I am scanning from left to right, that is called left to right scanning. If I am scanning from right to left, that is called right to left scanning. So LMD, I hope it is clear. if I am breaking the left variable. RMD means if I am breaking the right variable. Left left to right scan means left to right scan, and right to left scan means right to left scan. Correct. Now, in the very first, in the very first, let if I have a grammar and I am going through the grammar from left to right. So from this is the left to right, I am moving. So this is called left to right scan. So this first L that I have shown here, that is called left to right scan. And the second L here, that stands for leftmost derivation. So that means whatever the production rule I will be having, I will follow the leftmost derivation part. And the last one, that is called look ahead token. That means how many characters I am looking in the ongoing series. I hope you will understand this what is one part few minutes later once I will explain rest of the segments. Okay. Now, before entering in the main part of the LL1 part, sir, some fundamentals you need to know, that is called what is called first. Two functions are required here to understand. One is called first function, another is called follow function. Correct. Let me share my screen in a different way so that I can write here simultaneously. Okay. 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 This window back to back I will write. The first thing is first function. Here I'm writing, okay, the first. This is the first function. Another function is called follow function. Correct. So these two functions we need to know before we make a detailed introspection into the LL1 grammar. What is the first function? Just first we am looking with that function first. Let we have certain production. Let A is generating BC. Correct. Or uh, let me focus on this. Okay. A is generating BC. Then in this production, here you know that A, capital B, capital C, all are variables, correct? And let I am writing this capital A generating small b. Correct. This is also an expansion. Capital A can generate BC or capital A can generate B. Right. And now this capital B, let this capital B generating small m and capital C generating small d. These are the production I have written. Correct. Now for this production, I have to find out the first for either for terminal or for non-terminal. Terminal and non-terminal, what does it means? I said last time that terminal means which cannot be expanded. Correct. And non-terminal means variable which can be expanded. Here the small d, small m or b, these are terminals, whereas b, capital B, C, capital A, these are the non-terminals. Now in this set of production rules, if I consider it is if I consider these four production rules belongs to a cluster C, cluster let grammar G, that will be better, grammar G1. Let another grammar I am writing G2. Here I am writing a small example, then I will be coming over to grammar G1. Let I have taking a different color over here. A is generating small b, capital D, and capital D is generating small d. Right. Now follow, or sorry, the first of a terminal or non-terminal is that if the first terminal that you obtain from that variable or that terminal. Again, I am repeating. Let first of A, if I want to calculate, first of A is a variable. So first of A will be the first terminal that you find from that expansion. So under A to BD, you can find that small b is the terminal. So small b will be the first of capital A. So the first terminal that I encountered while expanding a variable. Correct. In the same way, the first of capital D, if I consider, it will be a small d because no other options left except the small d. Right. So the first terminal, again, just remember the first terminal that I will get. Now, if I consider this expansion A to capital BC, okay, let me take another example, then I will be coming to G1 again because G1 is a bit complex. Let I have another grammar G3 under which A to BC is there and capital B is generating small m. Let under this G3. Now, what will be the first of A? The first of A will be the first terminal, means capital B and capital C. Then let that C can generate small n let. So the first terminal means if I expand A to BC, then first terminal means B can be replaced by small m and C can be replaced by small n, correct? So that means A can generate small m n, right? The first terminal, what is the first terminal? That is small m. So first of A will contain this small m, the first terminal, right? Now in the same way, if I ask the first of capital B and the first of capital C, so first of capital B again will be the m because this is the only terminal or the only expansion that I am having, and for capital C that it will be n. Okay, so that means once this idea is clear that the first of a variable will be the first terminal that I will be getting from that expansion. Now if I am considering the grammar G1, here if I am asking you that what is the first of A, that if I am writing in F5 mode, okay, first of A, the first of A will be the first of B because B is a variable, so B is connected to here. First of A means first of B because B is the first variable that I am finding. B, if B is a terminal, then I would have written the terminal value. As it is a non-terminal, so I need to find out the first of that non-terminal. So first of B is small m. So small m is coming here. Right. Any other options are there? No, no other options are there. But one more production is there under A, that is A can generate B. This is B is a terminal, right? So B can be another option for A. So the first of A contains two different terminals. One is called small m, another is B. Because in this example, you can check that one non-terminal may have multiple terminal in its first function. In example number G2 and G3, only you have seen only single variables uh, that contains only single terminals. But here more than one terminal we have find it out. For first of B, if I consider first of B, simply it is M because no other options are there. And first of C, it is only small d. Correct. I hope the idea is clear. Now I'm taking one more example over here. Let here A is generating B, capital C. It is another example. That is G4. A is generating BC. Let's B is generating epsilon. I hope you can remember what is the value of epsilon. Epsilon means no moves. Are no moves. I should not say. That means this is a null move. I should rather say. And C is generating small d. Correct. Now, someone ask you what is the first of A, if I am trying to calculate the first of A here, then you will be saying that first of B and first of B will contain epsilon. That will be the first thing that will come into your mind. And any other options are left, you will say no other options are left. Only the epsilon is there. But actually it is not the true case. Because if there is an epsilon move, there is no meaning of the epsilon move here. Epsilon move means you can assume the move is multiplied by 1. Correct. The right thing would be that first of A, when I will be calculating, then if first of B is epsilon, then I need to check the second variable while scanning from left. So the first variable was B. B is generating epsilon, so I should not consider the first of B. I should consider the first of C while finding the first of A. What is the first of A? The first of A would be the first of C. What is the first of C? It is D. It is D. Right. Now, in the same time, you will ask that then what will be the first of B and what will be the first of C then? So first of C, no doubt it will be D because no other options are there. What is the first of B? You check that for first of B, I don't have any other options left except epsilon. If no options are left, then only I will put epsilon over here. Otherwise, never ever I will write. Correct. So what is the summary of that example G4? If any epsilon moves comes from the first of a variable, then I should not consider that variable first. I need to approach the second variable. It will be more clear if I take another example over here. Let me take one more extra page over here. Okay. Okay. Let I have a production A generating. A is generating capital B, capital C, capital D, and capital E, right? Let B is generating epsilon, C is generating epsilon, capital D is generating small d, and capital E generating small e. For let this is the grammar that I am having, I am terming it, it is a G5. Now, if someone gives you to find it out the first of A, then definitely you will look through the first of A means first of B. But first of B is generating epsilon, that means you cannot consider the epsilon, so you should approach to C, whether you have any terminal values or not. The first of C again is yielding epsilon, that means I should not consider that first of C as epsilon, then I should approach to first of D. First of D is generating the small d value, so that first of A will contain small d. And I should stop here because I cannot approach to E because D is generating a terminal which does not belong to epsilon. Right. Now, first of B, as you know, it will be epsilon because no other options left. Then first of C, if you consider, it will be also epsilon. Then first of D, it will be the small d, and the first of capital E, it will be the small e, right? It is a small e. So that means it is very clear that if the first expansion of a non-terminal is generating epsilon, I need to check the second variable. If the second is generating epsilon, I need to move the next one. Now, one question may comes into your mind that if all the variables are generating epsilon, let in this example, if I consider A to B, C, B is generating epsilon and C is generating epsilon. Let this is a grammar, I am marking it is a G6. Then what will be the scenario? So first of A, if I am going to calculate, then first of A means first of B. The first of B is epsilon, I need to check the C. First of C means again epsilon. That means this from this production, only the epsilon is the last option that I can find. So that means if no options are left, then only you can write the epsilon. The same thing I said for B and C. For first of B or for C, the same will be the output, the epsilon. Okay. I hope the idea is clear. What is called the first function. The first function generates the first terminal that you can get from that expansion. But certainly you cannot consider epsilon if more variables are there in that production, if you can expand them, if you are able to expand them. If no options are being left and it is being exhausted, only then you can put uh, epsilon under the first value, correct? Okay. Now, let me insert one more page over here. Okay. Now I'm looking through the examples that I have given. Uh, Here, whatever the examples are given, it is easy to follow. You can check out here the same example. This is one grammar set. This is another grammar set, another grammar set. You can check that the same idea that I have explained just a few minutes back, the same thing is stated here. You can cross check that, and also you can make a practice over here that whether the same output it is showing or not, that I have explained recently. Right. Now I will be coming to the next portion. The follow function is there. So before computing the follow function, we need to see some more terms and terminologies. One thing is very clear that we are looking through the LL1 grammar. Under the LL1 grammar, I said two functions we need to follow. That is the follow function, another is called first function. Correct? I said that this L stands for, what is the L stands for and what is this 1 stands for. This L stands for the left to right scan, and this L stands for the leftmost derivation, the second L, and 1 is the look ahead value, that how many variables I'm encountering. Correct? Now see over here that just few days back we covered the segment that what is called left recursion and why the left grammar to be left factored, right? That portions we covered. In that segment, we see that the way to remove the left recursion, the way to perform the left factoring over a grammar. But now we need to check that why that when we will be processing a grammar, then the production will contain the left recursion in that. Then why I cannot process it? What will be the problem with it? Correct? So that aspect we will be certainly looking through it. Let This is a grammar that I am having. This is a G. This is a grammar. It has three production rules. A generating small b d. This is small b is a terminal. D is a non-terminal capital D. Another capital D expansion is here. And the third expansion is capital B is generating small a. Right. Now, if I calculate the first of capital A, the first of capital A certainly will be the small b, right? Because it is the first terminal that you are having. The first of capital D, it will be small b certainly, right? And again, it is a left recursive grammar. The first of D will be the first of D from this point of view. But no other options are there except this capital D. Then again, it will generate B. So the only B will be there. And first of A, first of B, it will be only small a. So the first of B, it is a small a, right? Now, the first function I have computed, correct? Now, one thing you can check out here from this given grammar, that the grammar contains the left recursion part. So what is the left recursion part in the grammar? That this D, in the second production, the D is generating DBC. So the D appears here in the left portion of the production rule, that is called the left recursion in the grammar. Now I said last time that we cannot proceed with the grammar having the left recursion. Now we will be looking at what problems creates if a grammar have a left recursion, right? Now the table that I have created here, that is called predictive parsing table. Okay, so PR table, right? This table. In this table, in the first here we write actually. First I am drawing the table. You just check how I am drawing the table. In the table here, uh, here this is a column wise. In the column wise, we actually write the variable names. What are the variables it has? This is A, another variable is D, another variable is capital B. So the column wise movement is there. We write the variable names that exist in the grammar. And in the row wise, we write the set of terminals that I am having in the grammar. Set of terminal means you have checked this is a B is there, small c is there, and small a is there. So the table that I have prepared over here, this is called the rudimentary table, that is called predictive parsing table, right? In this table, one thing you can check that the cells are there, some cells are there that are remain vacant. Our focus is to fill the cells with some productions, correct? Now I'm zooming this section here. Uh, you check that in this table, what I will be doing, that first of A, it is small a. Now, first of A, sorry, it is not small a. First of A, it is a B. Now, we will be writing the production rules over here that can generate the B. So, the first of A, here, the first of A, what is the first of A? The first of A is B. And this first of A is B, it is being generated by which production rule? A to BD. So that production rule I have written over here, right? First of capital D, what is the first of capital D? It is a small b. Small b, it is being generated by the production rule. Two productions are there. Either I can take this production or I can take D to B production. By both the production, I can generate B. Why? Because why? Because D is generating capital D, B, C or small d, right? This is the, I hope that this was the DBC. This is the B capital B, right? Now, capital D, if I can take capital D is generating small d, if I am making it in separate, that means capital D can generate capital DBC or capital D can generate small d. If I take the second production, this is the first, this is the second. If I take the second production, then the first of the second production D is the small d. That is correct. In the first production, if I want to calculate the first of capital D, that means the first of capital D means the first of D, and the first of D means again the small d, right? So that means again the small d. So if I am taking this production or this production, my output is D because it is a recursive grammar. No? So this D is again expanded here. So this is the D. So either by this production or by this production, my first of capital D will be the small d, right? Now we will be looking at here. So that here first of D is generating B, right? And this first of D is generating B can be achieved either by this first part of the production or by the second part of the production. So that's why both the productions we have written D to B and D to DBC. Okay. Now for the last variable B here, that first of B, it is a small a, right? Now first of B is a small a means here you check that first of B small a is generated by this production rule, right? So first of B and here this is A. So B to A is their production by which I can generate this terminal value A. I have written it. Now this is a rudimentary table or the preliminary table that I have prepared, correct, for the predictive parsing. Now in this table we need to check if any cell contains double entry or not, right? Any cell contains double entry? Yes, if this is a cell is there which contains a double entry. If the cell contains double entry, then the grammar cannot be called LL1. So that means I had taken a grammar. For that grammar, I calculated the first functions. Then I generated the PR table. From there, I checked that whether the grammar is LL1 or not. Once I find double entry in a cell, I said that the grammar is not LL1. right? Though the table is not complete, we need to complete that some more stages are there. But here, as a table contains double entry, so it is not a LL1 grammar. And now you see that why the grammar is not LL1, due to the left recursion part or not? Yes, because let me in the second example, if I am removing the left recursion from the grammar, so D2, D, B, C and B, this is the left recursion, and you know how to remove the left recursion. So in this arrow, you can check that I am removing the left recursion from the grammar, and the same grammar I am processing. Okay. Now the grammar is left recursion free. The left recursion is being removed. The first production was A to BD. Let me erase this segment so that you can check it. The first production was A to BD. This A to BD, this A to BD again comes here, and you know the rule how to remove the left recursion A to A alpha and beta. The same ideology is the same ideology or the rules are applied over here to remove the left recursion D to DBC. So D to BD dash and D dash to BCD dash or alpha. Again, I am writing here. If you can forget those parts, A to A alpha or beta was there, then A to beta A dash or A dash to alpha A dash or epsilon. This was the rule, correct? A to A alpha or beta, then A to beta A dash, this was the A dash, and A dash to alpha A dash or epsilon. What was our production? D to capital D B C, right? Or B. Okay. We had a production that D2 capital D capital B C or small b. Let me once again cross verify it. Small b, right? Now you can take that this BC part as alpha and this B as beta, this B as beta, and this part as A, right? So it is in format, and if I take it as A, so it is in form of A to A alpha and beta. So what was the rule? A to beta A dash. A means D. D to beta. Beta means this is a B. So I'm writing B. A dash. What is the A dash? That means I'm taking D dash over here. D dash. And D dash to, that means A dash to alpha A dash. What is the alpha here? This is the BC is alpha. So capital B, small c is alpha. D dash or epsilon. Right? The same thing is written over here in these two production. And the final one is B2A is there, because B2A was there initially over here, if you check. So the same thing is here, right? Now, the same grammar we are having, but the grammar is being left factored, correct? Okay, I'm erasing the side parts over here. Okay. Now, for this grammar, uh, for this grammar, again, we will be checking that whether the grammar is LL1 or not, because initially the grammar that we had taken, that was containing the left recursion. Now we remove the left recursion and we are checking the grammar is LL1 or not. Now the first of A, if I calculate, the first of A is the small b. If I calculate first of D, that is small b, because here first of D dash, first of D dash means capital B, first of capital B means small a. Also, it will contain first of D dash as epsilon, because another production is there, but here I can write or I may not write, that depends on me. Later I can discard it. So initially I'm discarding it. And first of B, it is a small a, correct? Now again the same table, predictive parsing table I have prepared over here. In this table you check that here The column wise, I have written here that variable names. One more variable is added here, d dash. And row wise, here B, C, and A. The terminal values I have written. Okay. Now here you see that uh, you check that first of B. Okay, there's some extra noise are being as coming, so I have to stop this video. I will start in the next video.